Hello, welcome, welcome. Come on in, everybody. I see we're joining nice and slow. I see a lot of new names tonight, which makes me very happy. Very happy. Let's see. Oh, Darian's still trying to get in. Hi, Alina. How are you? Branton, Eric, Isaiah, Jareth, how's it going? John, Joseph. Oh, it's in alphabetical order. I just now realized that. Kimberly,
Nice.
Letitia, Patrick, Sylvia. Welcome, welcome. How is everybody? We're so excited to have you guys on our live stream this evening with Mr. Gildy Flores. I'm on my own tonight, people. It's
Oh,
me and Zaya streaming for us, but Quinn's not here, and neither is
oh,
the
that's
big
right.
boss.
I just noticed that too. Freedom Night.
Yeah, we might create a little trouble tonight. I don't know. We'll see how we're all feeling.
All
But
good.
ladies and
Let's do it.
gentlemen, if you don't know this man, Gildy Flores, he's an award-winning, Grammy-nominated composer and producer. He's got over 25 years of success under his belt. And this is his channel. He is our mentor for music, money, and motivation. So I know that kind of encompasses a lot in those three words. And tonight, we're talking about creating. Well,
Oh yeah.
wow. Okay. Since we are artists, so creating, but not only creating when we're grounded and focused and growing, but creating under other circumstances, under stress, under duress, maybe when we feel completely isolated, maybe when we feel everything has just stalled. And how do we keep going? And Gildy's going to give us some tips and tricks and techniques and all of that stuff to keep your mojo flowing. And I think without further ado, we're going to have him jump into this. And then, of course, if you guys aren't familiar with our platform, you may ask all the questions you like in the chat, and I will make a couple of breaks and let Gildy go through some of those questions to get your questions answered rather. And keep it flowing. We like you guys to interact with us. I may or may not ask you to unmute yourself, but for right now, Gildy does have this platform all to himself. Good evening, Isaiah. Yes. All right, Gildy,
Yes.
how are you? I know you're in like deadline. I won't say hell because
Yeah.
it's
Oh yeah.
when
It's
we
hell.
thrive, right? When we're like, oh, I got a deadline. It's good. It's not hell, but it is challenging. So
Yes,
thank you
it
for
is.
being here.
Yeah, of course.
This crazy stuff. Yes, I did get some questions for you because I was curious. Let me launch my little poll. How's that? Because I am one of those people, I don't need perfect circumstances when I'm creating, but it comes to me at the most bizarre times. I don't know about you guys. So if you guys can see this poll, here's the poll for tonight. What do you do when you feel creatively stalled? So do you redirect yourself? Do you immediately try to collaborate? Nothing, I need help. Or do you just rely on faith alone? We're going to let that poll simmer a little bit and we will get back to that later. How about that? Fabulous, Janine. Awesome. So I'm all over the place when it comes to that poll. But like I said, I don't know. Usually it's like in the car or in the shower. That's the only time I think I quiet my brain. Like I said, we'll let that poll simmer and then you can talk to us about like what drives you, Gildy? How do you keep creating music when there are no visible signs of success that have materialized yet?
That's a good question. I think the success is like different for all of us. First off, I've been in the room with some amazing people that I like. I'll just say Timbaland, the whole Hans Zimmer, all these different people that we listen to their music and we at least hope to have a little bit of their success, right? But then we find ourselves in that situation where we're working with these people. And the thing is you're working for people. It took me a long time to realize that. I was working for a franchise. I was working for somebody else, right? When am I going to work for myself? So then when I started working for myself, it took a lot of unplugging those things where I was feeding somebody else in their family. But what about me? I'm getting the smaller piece of everything. I don't have the name because when I look back at it, I was 18 years of bootstrapping, working on everything from like the Wolverine to every project I can think of, like a dream projects from animation, scoring for Nickelodeon, Netflix. I can just keep going with all these things, but There's a time when you look back at your life and you're like, what have I done for me? I have nothing to show for it. In a sense, I got to buy all my awards, right? Everything that I've been nominated, I've had a Telly, like not a Telly award, but I've been on the Telly award ballot, right? For something I did for HBO Max when I started branching off and doing my own thing. What I realize in this world is that we're just a bunch of names that are just not important, right? And that reality sucks, but it is true. Like you got to fight tooth and nail to be the next it thing. But then to be that thing, people put you in that spot, right? You realize you spend most of your career fighting for something that you have no control of. And when you have that realization, it sucks. It really does, because then you start questioning, what the hell? I could have my plaque full of, I've got billboards, I can go on all this stuff that I've got, but I have to pay for each one of those.
Crazy.
Yes, I worked with an artist. We were it was our album and Jesus is King with Kanye. We were 1 and 2, right? All over the world.
And Jesus had to pay for his award too.
He had to pay. So I can have that, but I have to pay $350 to buy a plaque. What? I've got 2 Golden Award trailers for trailer music. I've got 2 Golden Awards, trailer awards, never paid for them.
See, these are the things that people don't know until you're in it. Can you imagine? You're prestigious, you're winning these awards for your composing, and all of a sudden they're like, yeah, but instead of giving you the award and gifting it to
you still have to buy. Yeah, all the work that you do to put in, all the times that, and I keep saying this, like us musicians, creatives, I can't tell you how many people I've let down following what I do. How many funerals that I've missed, how many times that you only have one shot at a great grandma. When she passes away, she's done. I was on the road. I couldn't make it to her funeral. And then try to tell my family, I'm sorry, I can't, because you're too good now. And now I'm the bad guy because I'm fighting to make something of myself. But now I'm in a category of somebody doesn't care, right? So it's all these things that I love to talk about because it's those things that matter. That's the things that make us human. So all the awards, everything that I've been, I can go and rewatch the scene that I scored for the Wolverine, but even in that deal, I was just the guy that was working for a company. I didn't even they did get my name through there after a little emails and stuff, but all that to say, what was it worth, man? What was it really worth? Was it the money? Was it this? Because at the end of the day, you can take a billionaire on his deathbed and ask him, would you rather have more money or more time? And I guarantee he will probably pick time if he enjoys his life. So then you have to realize that takes the money equation out. Then we all have time. So what are we doing with it? So then that's when you got to step back and say, I've got an abundance of time, at least for me. That's what I got. So make the best of it. Don't worry about the awards. Don't worry about the career will find itself. Everything will line up as long as your time is taken care of. Then you will find success. So I just had to say that because this guy is successful. He's done this and that, but what have I done? Man, I've done that, but man, I've lost a lot. I've lost more than an award can show, right? So that's why I like being real with people, with anyone, this channel, whatever, because that's what we need. We need more real. You turn on the news, there's so much stuff going on today, right? And then like myself, I try to stay away from the news just to get in my place, but the news comes after you. People come after people. It's just, there's so much going on, especially for us creators, because we got to be in a great mindset to create as it is. And then you got the world going on, and then we have to somehow balance all of that and still take care of our families, take care of ourselves, and then find the time to make music, right? Our creativity. By that time, it's so wet, it's so soggy because we have nothing left to give it, but yet we want to make a living off of it. God, see, you shouldn't have given me the mic. I just took it because that's the truth. That's life. That is life.
I think we need to hear the truth. Music Alliance, you guys, we don't sugarcoat things.
No,
we definitely tell it like it is. Someone like Gildy, who has been through the trenches, he's here to help you guys and save you guys years of struggle with just talking real. So if you guys want to talk real and get your questions answered, throw those in the chat for sure. And the naysayers, it's so difficult, I think, when you're a creative person and maybe you're the only one in your family that has that desire and that passion. So you're misunderstood, right? So the naysayers, if they're in your family, you're like, like I remember my father saying when I was going to college for musical theater, and he was like, you should double major because you need something to fall back on. What?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, no, because if I plan, if that's my plan, that's what's seated in my brain, then I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna fall
Oh yeah.
back. Oh, so it's always been this, you gotta just, you're like the little engine that could, you gotta keep going. But when your steam runs out, guilty, what you
Yes.
do when your steam runs out.
The thing is, you're the one shoveling the coal. If we're talking about steam, right? You have to realize that if your steam's out, it's because you stopped shoveling the coal. If you
Right.
were waiting on your wife, your husband, your mom, your dad, your cousin, whoever that person is that's downing you or against you, because 98% of the people that were holding me back from creating what I've created have been my family. And they didn't mean to, and it wasn't intentional, but they meant the best for me, right? But the thing is, they meant the best for me in their lens. That's the
Mm-hmm.
thing with creatives. We don't have the lens. We don't wear the lens that everybody else gives us. We have our own lenses, right? And a lot of people don't understand that. And we get kicked a lot for that. And then we have to find our place in society. Then we have to create a narrative of why we're not where we need to be just yet. I found myself in a place where when I graduated, I looked and saw all the people I graduated with owning businesses, CEOs, and all these things. And here I am, freaking touring musician. Like, I had to say, damn, this is embarrassing, right? This is before I got into composition and production. But it's those things that us creatives have to face. That's just the reality. That's how it's set up because it's not meant for us, right? We're not supposed to find a way through it. And that's just what society says. I keep saying this, but if you remember in school, getting corrected, stop humming, be quiet, don't do that, get a real job. And you just said it yourself. Our parents mean well for us to go get a backup plan. I went to college way later in my life as a backup plan of my music. Even going for like a career in counseling, that was my backup plan, right? Not just going to counseling and having music on the side just in case I don't make it, I have a fallback. No, I was going for music and I had the counseling degree just to shut everybody up so that they could allow me to do my music and stop telling me do this, do that. I satisfied them by doing that. I know it's crazy, but I learned a lot through that. Don't get me wrong, it taught me a lot about mindset. And if anything, it taught me how to get a grip of where I was slipping all my life. And that's just listening to other people, waiting for everybody to tell you what is right, where you should be. That is just a security blanket, right? So once you realize you don't have to listen to anybody other than that vision, that's when you start connecting with yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's you that's going to push your, sorry to say, ass over that finish line, right? And then you
100%.
realize there is no finish line. Once you finally achieve that big dream you wanted, there's no line. And you're waiting for the celebration and you're the only one there, right? And then when you're happy because you finally did something, again, you got to pay the price for not showing up at grandma's last birthday party, right? Not at a funeral. And it's not that you didn't want to be there. It's just that you had a deadline. You had a responsibility because if you didn't make it, that was your name on the line, right? So I signed a Universal deal. I say this all the time. If you guys have been here, then you've heard me say this. But I signed my first Universal deal, and not even a publishing deal, just a vendor deal working with them. The day that I got hours from hearing that my mom passed away. She was on life support, and I got the news, your mom's gone, come to the hospital, do your things. And at the same time, I had to deliver on 3 projects that I had the opportunity that I worked 15 years to get. Does it mean that I don't care for my mom? No, it's like you just have to weigh what you're going for. Mom, burying her, there's nothing more I can do for her, but my career is here. So and then you still have people judge you for that. So as long as you know that you're gonna be judged no matter what you do, just do it. Just do it and stop worrying about what they think about you realistically. Don't just be like, forget you, but it's just show them with your work. And if they're not there for you when you win, that's okay. Don't hold it against them. They just don't understand, but just keep winning. Because as long as you're good, if you can wake up in the morning and feel good with life, right? Like this Atlas, what is it? This mothership that's coming to the US? You know what I'm talking about. What?
Did I miss something? There's a mothership?
I'm a geek. I pay attention to crap I'm not supposed to. Supposedly there's this, I think it's 3-Eye Atlas or something like that's coming. It's a meteor, it's a plane, it's a bird, whatever it is. But the fact is something is out in the news, right? But all that to say, if something happens and you're wiped out, would you be okay with whatever happens next? Just looking back at your life and being like, okay, I did do everything I could do. That's a question I had to like really start understanding every day. And once you do that, then your days are yours, right? Nobody can steal your joy. You got bills to pay, you got eviction notices, whatever. Your result, the way you handle that is going to be what it is, right? But you can prevent that by putting forward with what your gift was, right? So all that to say is that you have the control. Once you realize you got the control, that's where everything starts changing. You wake up every day saying, I have control. 30 days go by, your life is a whole different thing because you took control, right?
So, yes, but I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Please.
What if you're very spiritual Christian and you're thinking, you know what? I've been told my whole life God has control. So, where does that leave me?
First off, you just said it yourself. I was told.
I was told. Yeah.
But did you fact check that?
Did I?
Did you? Yeah, you were told, but did you go out and make sure that's what you believe?
Faith is seeing what you.
Of course, I was
believing what you can't see.
I was a Catholic for forever, and I was at World Youth Day '90s. I was a kid, but the people the congregation I was with, we raised enough money to go see the Pope, so we performed at this thing, World Youth Day. I don't want to give my age away, but it was like, I did all that. I was the best of the best as far as religion said. But then when I started going again after my dreams and after my life, I started crossing the lines that religion told me was a no. So then I had this contradicting part where, okay, I'm confused because I think I'm doing right, but they say I'm doing wrong. My family says I'm doing wrong. So then you get into this thing of ideology. There's so much. You can't, like, I don't talk politics and I don't talk religion, and I'm talking religion, so I'm a hypocrite. But all that to say is that you can never convert somebody to believe what you're going to believe. You can never. I don't care how strong your argument is. It's just a one-way street, right? Because you're going to believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. But at the end of the day, it's always good to understand what you believe, right? You have to fact check everything to the point where you believe and you're solid in understanding, okay, that's what I agree. That's what I believe. So if you, all that to say, if you truly believe that you're religious and you grew up that way and everybody told you should be and you're following, that's the way your life is going to be forever. But I got to the point where I had to start questioning my things, right? Like, I did all this stuff and I didn't find salvation in the way it said I needed to find salvation. When I stepped away from religion and just that spirituality part, when I started holding myself accountable for finding God, for me it's God, I found God. And I found God, and I've never had a relationship like I do with God, right? Because it's something I had to find. And it was something now that I agree that I'm cool. I'm set in stone with my beliefs. So I can be in the room with a Satanist. I can be in a room with a Hindu, whatever religion, whatever, and I won't have any judgment on, again, anybody. Because I'm cool with what I believe and I'm grounded in that. So it allows me to put that lens off. Like, I've literally taken that lens and just destroyed it. Now I can be around anybody and it's not going to shake what I believe.
And that's a very powerful position to be in.
It's a lot of work, but yes, it is.
And I think that's what you're saying has nothing to do, like, per se with, I know we brought up, I brought up religion or Christianity, whatever, but what really it is being authentic to yourself and your beliefs, yourself. Not somebody else's, nothing that was impressed upon you when you were a child or even in grammar, high school, whatever, but it's your authentic self as a grown person.
Now you understand what I meant when I answered your question.
Right.
It's up to
Yeah.
you. It's how you push it and how you handle it. And that's literally when you're okay with what you believe, you can set it in stone and move forward. And that way, religion, other people that are speaking against you because you're not doing what they believe, it doesn't bother you because you're not in a position to prove to them, right? You've taken that power away from them. What is the word? Like just judging you, basically. You've taken that power away. So no matter what they throw at you, it's all good. Let them think what they want. And it's not that you don't care. I don't care what you say. It's comes from a different place. It's this maturity and growth and like just being a human. And you apply that to your music, to your brand, to your path, to your artistry, then you are unstoppable.
I find that I say that more now that I'm getting older. I'm not going to give away my age either, but
Give it away. I did.
you didn't.
I'm
No,
just
you
kidding.
didn't. You just
Go
said
ahead.
when
Go
I was
ahead.
little.
I want to figure it out. I'm going to guess
But
if
no,
I do.
I find myself saying to people, I don't care. And then I go, oh, I don't mean I don't care as in screw you. I don't
Yeah,
care as in you do you and I'll do me and we're good. We're solid. So
that's a
I feel
great
like I have
place.
to preface it though with being like, not in a bad way, in a like,
Yeah.
I'm good with who I am, and I hope that for you too.
Yeah, that's the actual best. Sadly, I had to go and pay a $72,000 tuition to find this out. On my counseling thing, that's when I learned that plasticity, neuroplasticity, and that your brain can be rewired because we basically are. I was born in poverty. I've been homeless. I say it all the time. Not dirty homeless, and I always have to say that. I had grandma. Thank God grandma was there to always take up for every day when I would go and sleep in my car, show up at grandma's house to just have breakfast with her because I missed them. But in reality, I had to eat, I had to shower up, and go to school. I was in high school living parking out in the middle of until my dad took my car away because he was just couldn't understand why I was such this rebel spirit. But honest, I don't even get into that. But those were my circumstances. So I had every right in the world to be pissed and hate everybody, hate the world. That's just not. It's not fair. I'm not. I don't have luck. All the other narratives that I was living off of, right? I ran out of gas so many times in my life and lived off of fumes because I was too busy pointing and blaming everybody. But when you finally take the initiative and understand that your circumstance is just that, it's a circumstance. And I know what it's like to be in poverty, right? I know what it's like to be evicted. I'm seeing my mom pack our stuff up and then her being an alcoholic and all these things that I had to live with. And I don't regret nothing anymore. Back then, of course, I was like, I wish I was better. I wish. But now it's when you understand it, you just take what you get and you make better of it. You get to decide, even today, no matter what you got on right now, if you were to make the decision at this very second that you want to change it, that you're going to see it different, then there it is. So be it. It changes because you made the decision to. It's going to be hard as hell to get out of. If you stumble downhill, it's going to be a walk uphill, but you're not going to be the same person carrying that load to the point where the load gets lighter and lighter. And by the time you get to the top, you're there as a brand new person. And you look back and you see all this luggage left behind, these circumstances, because you just let go and you understand that's not who you are. If you're not happy where you are, there's the door. The proverbial door is always there. Always.
And there's so many tools at our disposal now that can
Oh,
really
God, yes.
help out. So let's do our poll results because everybody participated. Thank you guys so much. What do you do when you feel creatively stalled? So 47% of you said redirect myself. Excellent coping skills there. 13% said collaborate. Again, ding, Family Feud, one of the number one answers. But nothing, I need help. Yes, I feel the struggle sometimes myself. And we're here. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to give you guys something tangible so that we can help you when you are in that creative stall, that you're not just like staring into space going, what do I do now? And then 28% of you said rely on faith. And it's, yeah, whatever your answer is, there is no wrong answer here at all. And thank you. Oh, someone else just answered the poll. All right. No, it says 39. Anyway, appreciate you guys always. And that's what Music Alliance, when you're a full member with us, the whole collaboration and networking, that's what we pride ourselves on. We put you in the Slack channel. We're still trying to get some of you more active in our Slack channel. It's a free app when you sign up. We give that to you. And then you have access to all the mentors and ask real-time questions like Gildy and all of the other people that are wanting to collaborate. There's very few people on the stream tonight. It's a light crowd. We'll still give you the same 20% we always give. That was a joke. But it's still important to get you guys in there and collaborating, networking, and all of that stuff. So those of you who are here, thank you, and don't go away. So yes, and once again, let me go back to my little chit chat. John says, if God gives you a gift, whether it's music or whatever, being a Christian is your identity, but that doesn't mean that you aren't allowed to do what you were made to do. He even says, let the dead bury the dead. Yep.
There it is, John. See,
Yeah.
you sounds like you understand, man, and that's what it is. As long as you understand what your foundation is good, it's like a name. I always try to say this. You know, you have your name. You go spend time with a different family, a friend's family. They invite you in. They have all of their family there, right? You come into their home. You have dinner with them. You have a great time. When you come into that house, your name is solid, name and last name. When you leave the house, your name and last name is solid. That's how you have to have that foundation. Everywhere you go in your life, it doesn't change. It allows you to go and enjoy time with another family, even though you have your own family, right? The name doesn't change. And once you realize that you have that foundation in you, it opens up so much. It takes a major chunk of this worry and this fight that we fight of trying to do somebody right. Man, I used to have a hard time having a relationship with people because people don't understand me and they always try to tell me what to do and things like that. And I would listen to it. And I always thought, man, I'm never going to find somebody in my life because I'm too busy trying to please them. But why? If they can't find me or accept me who I am, and honestly, I didn't know who the hell I was at that time either. But you have to allow yourself to have that time to understand and to grow and then eventually love yourself. And not in an ego way, but just in a way that you have to understand this is what you're given and you're given the pen at the same time. You're the author. You're the main story. You're the main character. You're the author. You're the publisher. You're all these things. And too busy we're waiting to get that New York bestseller. And it doesn't even matter. Just tell your story and live it. Be hardcore with who you are, what you have. And if you don't like your circumstance, it's just a circumstance. That's all it is. You have the power to change it. And I'm telling you again, I say that from a poverty person, right? I've seen money. I've seen money come and go. I've walked the red carpet. Finally, when it was all the boxes were checked, I should have gone forward. I decided to pivot and make my own company. And from when I did that, all the way down to the bottom, I went. Starting all over again. All the people that I built in relationships with, now they were gone because those were the ones that had their hands in my cookie jar, right? They were bringing a cookie jar. Don't get me wrong. It was their cookie jar, but I put my hand in. I got my share. But they got my cookie that I pulled out and broke a little piece and gave me that little bit. So if you want more, make more. So there I found myself years gone by working for, I don't want to make names, but like I was only getting 12% of 100%. Think of it that way. Of just my writer's share. I was getting 12% of my writer's share. I'm sorry, 12.5%, my bad. They were keeping 100% masters, sound recordings, the actual master recording, plus the publishing, and they were giving me 12.5% of the writer's share. And they were expecting so much out of me. When are you going to do more? When are you going to do more? When are you going to do more? And then none of that was money up front, right? So it was building their catalog, and they're a prestigious brand. There's nobody above them. But I was working my ass off for them, right? And it's, dude, why? Why am I doing this? Just so I could say I've done this, done that? You just get to a point where you start really realizing everything starts making sense. And it's not about...
have an interesting...
No, please.
No, it's perfect because Maddie goes, what does any of this have to do with music?
Oh, everything. Absolutely everything. Because if your mind's not right, your music is not. You're okay. I'll be totally fair with you. Let's just get into the music, right? I was a musician. I was touring. I was doing great. Okay. I finally got Timbaland to answer my email. Now I'm making beats with Timbaland. I didn't have any of my business right. Okay. And I'm not going to blame Timbaland, but I had 4 breach of contracts. When you're expecting that money and the money doesn't do you right, and you did the work, you see your work on TV, you hear it on the radio, but nobody paid you. Then you have people looking at you because you're a piece, because you're not showing up to these events, you're not being an active member in a family in society. Now your bank account is becoming negative. What are you going to do? Is it really about the music, or is it about your mindset of how are you going to dig yourself out of the hole that you don't even put yourself in? You were just trying to follow your passion for music, but you found yourself in a hole that somebody else dug and pushed you in. Then what are you going to do? I've had 3 people commit suicide because they were in the red, negative with money and stuff like that, right? That's the worst, when you think you're with people that are just enjoying life, and then the next thing you get a phone call because they did this. Why? What happened? Dude, they were like negative in their account, but dude, he's got a Grammy. What the hell? This dude's got 5 Grammys. Nobody talks about that stuff.
Do you think it comes down to celebrating the small things? I think we all forget about the small victories, right? And personal milestones that we should be celebrating. So like give a couple of things, Gildy, that you would celebrate instead of, I got a Telly Award and I had to pay for it. What are the small things that aren't so small, but that you celebrate? What are the wins that you celebrate for yourself?
Life, man, life. My small things just came literally to just life, just understanding that you have the moment to celebrate, right? Because I remember the best days of my life being the worst days of my life. And it's just those contradicting things where life has this funny way of giving you just enough for you to understand that you don't have control. That no matter how good you think it is, it's not, right? But then you're the one that you're the eye of the beholder. You're the one that has to have a perspective lens that lets you see more. It's for me, again, I'm not trying to push this name, but faith. My faith in God has got me where I'm at, because when things happen, when those breach of contracts happen, I had every right to say, why? This is not fair. I did all the things right and this and that. But it's when you have to understand there's something bigger. I need to learn from this. This is happening because God has a way of giving me what I prayed for. I prayed to be a better leader. I prayed to have more. I prayed to help people, to meet people where they are. And I was praying these things in part of my life when I had everything. I had people come over and I'm able to treat them. We go have a dinner and I'm able to take the card of 5 or 6 people. The check was over like $400 and it was no problem for me. Boom, boom. Treating people, anything they wanted. I was just trying to just be there.
Yeah.
And I was making these prayers. And then I remembered everything changed. I got breach of contracts. I got thrown down the hole. And here I am. If my stuff wasn't right, I would look at God, why are you doing this?
Right. If your mind isn't right and that happens, so this challenge, this
everything I
could be trauma, tragedy, whatever. You're like,
I've never done anything wrong. I was helping people. How could you do this to me? Like, why would you do this to me? Don't I pray to you every day? Am I not servant enough? Am I not? That's where that perspective narrative comes in. That's where that lens comes into play. Because if you can go through everything you're going through and still hold yourself thinking, okay, you know what? I have air in my lungs. This has to be something that I prayed for. There has to be something that I'm supposed to learn from this. Then it becomes a growth pattern. Then because I'm about to file bankruptcy, but I was just winning. I remember all the times I was winning. I walked the red carpet. I got proof. Go to Getty Images, type in my name, it's there. And I was praying for God. But right when I asked for more to be better, I got kicked. I got thrown on the ground and everything taken from me. Is that God? No. It's
and then what do you say? You got to look for the lessons, though.
That's what I mean. I prayed. You have to be careful what you pray for, because you're going to get it. And a lot of the times it's not going to be what you wanted. It's going to be that journey to achieve that person that is going to be there to appreciate the gift that I prayed for. In order to be a leader, I would have to become a leader, right? If I wanted to be a rich man in just not success, but like being rich in knowledge and wisdom, I'm going to have to earn that. God's not going to give it to me. It's not a free gift. It's an earned
And this
thing.
is, you guys, this is Gildy's perspective. I don't want you guys to be like, what?
Oh, yeah, no,
God and
please.
faith and prayer and all of that.
Nah,
This is
you
just,
do what you
he's
want.
just sharing his perspective.
Yes,
We don't tout
absolutely.
any one thing,
No.
right? You all have your own minds and you have your
But-
own beliefs, and we respect that. The only thing we're
Oh, yeah.
pushing on you is you should be a full member with Musical Life.
I like how you did that there. I thought you were like, no, wait, Gildy's not telling you being, you were just trying to do that plug.
No, but
Okay,
listen
now
to
that-
the,
No, but check it out.
There's a
Look,
lot of unpacking going on in this chat. People
No,
are
but
getting
look.
very deep.
but let's check
it-
this out. Let me just rewind for a second. Okay? I'm a year away from being a counselor. Okay. As a counselor, we cannot push our beliefs on anything. We have to be straight, right? Like when people come in and they want to get counseling, they want to get help for whatever it is. And I'm a counselor. There's a form that you have to fill out basically saying, I want to have that religion or whatever. I want to get Christianity, whatever it is, into the counseling session, right? But before that, we're trained to understand that we have what this culture respect. We respect everybody. Because in that sense, you can't be a certain way and then work with somebody and then push your narrative on them. That's impossible. You can't do that, right? So that's why I say, for me, my thing, I make it very clear, this is my views. Because even, okay, so like in ADSR, basically Alcoholics Anonymous, right? You've seen that, where they go in and they're addicts, okay, addicts. I'm a trained where, even though I don't have my counseling to be a license to be a counselor, I can go work at a place, a recovery home or whatever. So in that, a lot of people are broken. They come in and they're addicts and they really don't have a belief system. So the first thing that you have to do to help someone is to get themselves out of themselves. They have to believe in a higher power. So whether it's God, universe, whatever it is, they have to get out of their own head and apply something to work towards, right? That's the first step of any of this. So when I speak to you guys, I'm just saying this is what I've learned through my journey. So yeah, as she mentioned, I'm not trying to tell you how to go do anything. Like, I don't even follow religion. I'm just straight up spiritual in the sense that I'm still finding my way through life. But at least for me, I don't have the pressure of trying to be good, right? I have who I am, and that's what I bank on. And that allows me to get that gigantic part out of the way so that I could push forward into my career, into music and everything else. So what I mean by that is bundle that up and let's just call it mindset. So mindset is what the key to everything. That is the thing that is going to make or break you in whatever you're going for, period.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. That's why it's called music
Mindset.
or mindset money
Oh, yeah.
motivation. Sorry, music money. Oh my goodness.
It
It's
is.
triple M. It's triple M. There's, yeah. So thank you guys. There's people that are sharing some very deep, personal,
I always have the chat off. My bad, everybody.
dramatic events
turn
that
that
have
on.
happened in their lives. And I don't take this lightly. This is,
Okay.
thank you for sharing, you guys. This is crazy. And even Jaref, I love this class. I feel so seen. What a beautiful
Yes, Michael.
sentiment. Thank you so much.
Cognitive
And,
behavioral therapy. That is absolutely one of
And
the
then
best
Christopher
tools.
talking about his mom killed herself when he was 15. And now he's saying, I use that pain to find a way to turn it into purpose. And he's trying to be a light for people. God, not to talk
See,
about, but what a
but
blessing you are. That's amazing when you turn your pain into purpose. That's huge.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I want this channel. I could tell y'all everything about being successful, what worked for me on how to do this. And we can have another channel for that at another time. This is the crap that people don't talk about. This is the stuff that matters. This is the things where people share their stories. This is the thing that keeps them going, right? This is the kind of stuff we don't talk to unless we know somebody very well or we have the opportunity to spill it. I don't care if there's one person right now that I'm resonating with. I'm good with that because I love talking about the things because this is, again, the weight of my mom, like carrying. That's the reason I have a counseling degree. I went to counseling to change my mom. I was going not for me. I wanted to be the perfect counselor so that I could get her off of this habit of addiction, right? I became a love addict. I became all these other addictions that I had, trying to find love in my life and all that kind of crap. And it's just crazy how us as human beings get caught up in stuff and then we destroy ourselves, right? But it's all mindset. That's what I mean by mindset. That's just the one thing. If I could literally just have 3 words to somebody, it's your mindset. That's all it is that will make or break you. It's a hell of a lot to learn that, but when you do, it's like you really just appreciate life, and circumstances are exactly that, circumstances. That's all it is. I notice this and I love it because when we talk about this deep stuff, we always leave a lot of people leave.
It's very true.
What?
People are afraid.
No, but yeah,
Well,
that's
you know
what I'm saying.
Actually, a bunch of people did leave, but those
and
are
that's
the
okay.
people that
It's all
you're
good.
brave, and thank you.
But it's all right. But that's why, even if it was just me and you talking, as long as you hear what I'm saying and you're resonating, it's all good, because this is the kind of talks that I have with good friends outside. When we're enjoying our successes, this is the kind of stuff we talk about. This is the stuff we talk about in the studio. This is the stuff I talk with Timbaland, okay? Thank God. Timbaland, I don't talk to music about him. We talk about weird, geeky stuff. I don't ever send beats. Hey, bro, what do you think about this, man? Hey, teach me how to make my stuff kick. And people are like, dude, how does he talk to you? Like, no, I don't care about that with him. I want to hear what he feels like. What's cool? What's on the inside with you, man? Like, how are you doing? Because that's just what life is.
But that's what creation is. We are articulating emotions. We're articulating our challenges, our happy, our sad, our in between, all the, you know what I'm saying? So if you cannot articulate it, how are you being a creator? So it's all part of the process.
Oh yeah. And I invite anybody right now, please come up, let your mic or just step up, come in. I would love if something's bothering you right now in life, in your career, you just can't figure it out, please come in. Let us help you with that. Maybe we've been there and it's just an easy fix. Not even a fix, but it may be the thing you needed to hear to push you out of that thing. So I always want to welcome that.
If anyone feels like they want to be unmuted, just let me know. This is for being constructive with our time. Okay. Hi,
How are you guys
Michael.
doing today? My name is
What's
Michael.
up, Michael?
Dude, I can relate to everything you're saying right now, brother. I was in prison for a crime I didn't commit. From there, I went into severe addiction, and then into toxic relationship after toxic relationship. I hated myself, bro. I hated my life. I literally was at a point where I was trying to figure out how to kill myself without hurting my family. And the only thing that changed my life was this man came up to me and said, bro, you really have to, there's 2 keys. Live with integrity. Number 1, which people don't know, integrity is not just doing the right thing. Integrity is directly linked to God. It stands for a moral, ethical code connected to serving a righteous purpose. Not just the right thing, but righteous. That is the literal definition of it. So it's
doing the right thing when people aren't looking. That's integrity.
It's also seeking the righteous outcome. So whatever you do, even if you tie in your shoes, you're supposed to seek the outcome that God would want. If you do that in your life, you will find it is very hard to become depressed, miserable, or unhappy. I'm serious.
You figured it out, bro. I agree.
And you will have joy. And there's a difference between being happy and being joyful. Because happiness is only temporary. When you can master this, where you can sit in like I'm at the DMV. This is great, man. Like, I'm so blessed in the most miserable times, because people forget it's a gift to even experience pain. Even that is a gift, because you don't have to be here at all. So the fact that you have been given an opportunity to experience something that hurts, you have to look at that as, I'm still here. I'm not gone. Even that is a gift. Plus, you would never know how good the most beautiful, wonderful, loving moments of your life felt if you did not feel the worst ones. You had nothing to compare it to. You would ever have an idea. But bro, I struggled for so long. And then about 3 weeks ago, I've been a Christian my whole life, but about 3 weeks ago, I was praying so hard to God, bro. I'm like, man, I'm struggling. I'm trying so hard to stay sober. People, like, I'm finding drugs in my room. I didn't buy them. None of my family put them there. I'm praying to God so much, they're just appearing out of nowhere. trying to suck me back into addiction, the spiritual warfare, bro. And I prayed to God, I said, God, I need you now. I need you. Bro, he sent a church. I've lived here for a year and a half, and I didn't go to the church next door. That's an all-black church. So that's why I never went there. I said, you know what? I'm just going to go over there. I went over there, bro. I've never experienced God like I experienced him there in my life. He literally hit me like a Mack truck.
Man.
Totally took every bit of. Now, listen, I ain't saying I'm perfectly cured forever.
Oh, of
But
course.
all of the 43 years of serious trauma. Now, I'm not going to get too graphic, bro. I seen a man get seriously dismembered, unalive dismembered over a trash bag in prison, 5 feet away from me. Like, I've seen some serious things. I witnessed some serious things, bro. And you know how I got there? I was driving a car 25 miles per hour. I didn't wreck. I didn't hit nobody. Didn't kill none. 5 years I spent there, bro, for driving a car and drinking 2 beers. Didn't wreck it. Didn't do nothing. I prayed to God for years about why I was there. You know what God told me? He said, because you loved your life and your children more than you loved me.
Hmm.
And you cannot have anything that you love more than you love me. He says, I didn't take it from you. Don't get me wrong. This is what he said to me specifically, because I prayed day after day. He said, I ain't take nothing from you. He said, in fact, it's quite the opposite. I gave you a clear handbook on how to retain everything you have. You chose to follow your will instead of being obedient to me. You could have kept everything and had more than that in abundance. He said, you're blaming me, saying I did it. Why am I letting this happen? No, you lost all of those things because you were living for Michael. You were living Michael's will. And listen, bro, at the moment that I went into the church, the first thing the pastor said, he said, I changed my message today because God wants to say this. He said, you keep making excuses for not pursuing music. So I just enrolled at Full Sail for my bachelor's in audio production. I'm an
There you
extremely
go,
talented
man.
individual. So he said, you keep making excuses for not doing it. He said, but I already put everything in you need. And he said,
Bro.
the problem is you keep singing your song. He said, you need to quit singing your song and start singing my song. And bro, I'm telling you, since my life has completely changed since that day, my family will even tell you I'm a completely different human being
That's
entirely
amazing, Michael.
from that day.
I
But it
so
all
appreciate
started.
you coming on here and sharing with us. If there are a couple other people that want to get a
No,
word
it's-
in, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I do invite you to
Can
come
I hit a
back.
riff
and-
real quick on my guitar?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Real quick.
Absolutely, man.
All right.
We don't have the performance audio on, unfortunately.
Oh, I moved it. I moved the cake over. That's why.
Michael, we're not set up for that tonight. I'm so
All right,
sorry,
you
but
can't hear
come
me? All right.
No, it's cutting out, man.
come back to us. Come back to us. All right, I know. Let me see. Oh, there's Alina. Hey, Alina.
Hi,
How are
everyone.
you?
Oh,
I'm pretty
hi,
good.
man.
Alina's
like
one
an
of our new
echo.
members, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
there
Say
is.
hi. Give her some
Let
love.
me- I'm gonna make sure that it's not my fault, Alina, so I'm turning my volume down. in case
No, it's not. It's a thing that has to. Anyway, go
Yeah.
ahead, darling. Sorry.
Yes, welcome.
It's okay. It feels like I'm on a stage, so I have to get used to it, right?
Yes,
Let me ask you,
exactly.
is your volume real high on whatever you're listening to?
On my phone. Yes.
Oh, you're in your phone.
Yep.
Because it's definitely getting some feedback. But no, go ahead. We'll act like we're in an old radio. It's all good.
Yeah, I don't mind. Again, there's going to be a response when you're on stage, right? Or no?
Right? Absolutely.
Okay. I wanted to come on, and it piggybacks on what Michael's saying, that when you are starting to get to a certain point, there's going to be distractions. And it's to build you to get to that next level. And if you can't get past that distraction, imagine the distractions that are at the top.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
And then to flip on the opposite spectrum, I was actually in the music building with my friend Wanda, and I was going to record a song. But there was someone in the room that had so much. Musicians, we are sensitive. So he must have had some trauma. And when I first walked in, something told me to touch his shoulder. And I did, but it got him a little upset, uncomfortable. and it shifted the entire frequency of what I was going to do in that studio. I tried to get him on the same vibe, but it didn't work. And that's where, Gil, hearing that you have a degree in counseling, that's exactly what's happening. Our spirits, our souls are communicating with each other. And so I wasn't able to sing and record. So I accepted it, but now I know that it's taken a year for me to work on that. And hopefully next time it comes, I have some tools or something to help it be removed, or ask him to leave. Straight up.
No, it is. But you have a choice. That's the thing. Whether it's going to be a good choice or a bad choice, it's going to hurt. It's going to feel good. There's not going to be a right way to do something. Like, you have to just go with your instinct and just rock with it, because you should know, like, we should all know, as being humans, we have that. We, like Michael was saying, we're all equipped with something. Whether if you're a believer, whatever, doesn't matter. You have an instinct, just as a human body or the way that our mind works. We know when stuff is good, we know when stuff is bad, but it's just understanding that you have the choice to make the leap. That's the point I'm trying to make. And when you realize you have that power, man, you're unstoppable in every sense of the word, because there's literally that. Like, it's going to hurt somebody, it's going to make somebody feel good. It doesn't matter. It's just, it all has to come down to you knowing that it's what you need to do, what you need to feel, and that's what you need to bank on. And it doesn't even come off as being selfish. It's just, I got to take care of my, because all those times that I was hurting, I really looked around and realized I was by myself, right? It's easy to see the wins. You go to IMDb and type my name in, oh, wow, he's got thousands of, but none of that says who I am. None of that speaks of the times that I was like trying to give up my career because nobody understood. Then you realize I'm just too busy trying to make everybody else happy. And then you just try to dial it in and realize it's all about me in a non-ego way. It's like, I just got to do it. And the people that are going to be there are going to be there. The people that are not, but then it's obvious they weren't there. So,
Let people fall away, you guys. I just had an incident where I was working with a producer, and it was somebody that I was very good friends with, so I trusted this person, and I went against my instincts and my gut, which told me this is not the right producer for you, but he wanted to give it a shot, and he was piggybacking off of my reputation and my dreams, and I let him. Don't let people do that to you, you guys. Don't be afraid to stand firm on your boundaries and know your worth. I regret, and now we're not friends. It literally turned out like the worst possible scenario. However, with that door closing, I can't tell you how many other, I was like, wow. So this is, again, whatever you believe in, the divine, the universe, whatever you believe in, this was working in my favor, closing the door on that chapter with this producer. And literally, I have 3 new projects come my way within a couple of days. Like craziness. I know we're out of time, but I thank you guys for being here with us tonight. Wow. Thank you for sharing it. Really, I can't tell you, my heart feels so full right now. And I'm just, Jaref said, I feel so seen. I feel that way too. This is just as much for me and Gildy as it is for all of you. So thank you. Really quickly, and then I'm going to let Gildy give you a last couple of whatever, leave you with something immensely wise. But tomorrow we are speaking with Carlette Jones, and she is a woman who is on the Grammy voting committee. So she's going to give you a whole different insight and perspective. And she also does PR and stuff. Really cool chick. So I'm excited for her to come on and share with you guys tomorrow, and vice versa. And then on Thursday, we have Gino O, because I can't pronounce his last name because it's beautiful in Greek and I'm just not that smart. Kidding. But he's going to come on and he's talking about so many different things. He uses Taxi. He's another sync licensing guy who's found a lot of success in utilizing different platforms. Gildy, you might want to even come on. That's on Thursday. So again, that's 6 o'clock, you guys. 6 o'clock always Pacific Standard Time. Music Alliance headquarters is in Las Vegas. What? Sin City, that's right. I said it. But thank you again. And Gildy, really quickly, what do you want these fine people with? Anything?
God, I think we just did so much. Just literally lock into the mindset. I get that. We get that at the time, Jenny. Like when we try to get real deep, people are like, "What does this guy do with music?" And but it does. It's
But
like,
and then sorry, the
Yeah,
guy
but
that
then-
actually said that stuck around, which I
and then we
love. So thank you.
understand. No, it's all good. But yeah, thank you, babe. I love when people do question that because I don't get offended for anything because I again thought that the same way. But for real, at the end of the day, we're all just human trying to find our spot. So please just keep finding your spot. But I do encourage you to get the mindset thing down because then people can't trample you, people can't take advantage of you, people can't push you. It's like you're just responsible for you. And that's a really good ride to have.
Awesome.
Man, I wish you all the best. Thank you for coming over.
Yes, thank you. And please know that I know I make fun of, you got to be a member of Music Alliance, but I truly do mean it. You can see what a cute little family we are. And we really do believe that your voice is important, every one of you, and that you guys deserve to be heard. And you also deserve to be in the music industry that isn't screwing you over. And that's what Music Alliance tries to help you with. So I did put the link in the chat. It's in there somewhere. And also home team at musicalliance.com. You can always get your questions answered. I'm happy to get with you guys, get on a call, whatever you need. And Alina, I will see you tomorrow, I believe. We're getting
Alina,
together.
thank you so much too.
Yes,
And
you
yeah,
guys
I
have
do-
a fantastic night.
All right.
Bye, y'all. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.